Hi, my name is Radu from Great British Mag, which is an online magazine dedicated to international students that want to find out everything about living and studying in the UK. First of all, I am an international student at the University of Portsmouth. I'm currently in the second year studying film production, and I'm really enjoying my time here, and I will soon tell you why. So I chose the University of Portsmouth due to multiple reasons. First of all, is that it was one of the few universities that offered the course that I was looking for, which is film production, and that also offered a lot of equipment to work with, professional equipment from cameras to studios. It was just the right thing to do for me. Second of all, I've read that their courses are really high quality, and the teachers there are just excellent, and that turned out to be true. I'll talk more about that later. Third reason is the city of Portsmouth itself, because I honestly wanted to live in a seaside city for a long time, and University of Portsmouth was one of the few universities that were located in a small city just by the coastline. And I sort of wanted to stray away from the big cities like London. You don't have to rely on buses or trains to get through the campus or throughout other part of the city. It's just really, really easy to get around in Portsmouth, and I love that. When researching about the city, I've heard two things about it. One, it has a really rich naval history, and two, bustling nightlife. Both of those things turned out to be true. So if you're a fan of history or going out with friends at a pub or a club, take Portsmouth in consideration. So now a few things about the university itself. First of all, the University of Portsmouth has an open campus, which means the campus buildings and the accommodation buildings are spread around the city, mostly in the city center. The university also offers student housing, which is a lot to choose from, really. They have studios, also shared flats. I've been in one of their student accommodation last year. I can complain even though I haven't stayed there more than 5 months due to COVID. The campus buildings themselves have a sort of specialization. For example, me as a film production student, I mostly go to Eldon building to do my coursework and lectures, because that's the building responsible for the more creative courses, so to say, like film production, photography, 3D modeling, augmented reality, and so on. Other buildings might tackle computer science, mathematics, physics, and so on. One thing I really like about the University of Portsmouth is that their library is pretty big, and it's also made to be cozy for the students, so to say. It's a place for socializing but also learning. It has a coffee shop inside. You have plugs for your laptop. You can also go and borrow laptops, for example, if you don't have one. And the process of borrowing books is really simple. You just say the title on a computer. They'll tell you where to get it. You get it, you scan it, and that's all. You just need your student card. You have all the books, you have good lighting, you have plugs for your laptop, and so on. It's just a perfect place. One thing I didn't really like about the campus, though, as a new independent student, is that they don't have a canteen. So I always had to rely on cooking for myself or just getting takeaways, which is kind of expensive. So I would have really liked like a canteen or cafeteria in the campus. However, there's one or actually two accommodation places that offer catering. So if you don't really know how to cook or prefer not to for some reason, you can just opt in to go to those accommodations. They're called Reese Halls and Burrell House. There's also UOP Global, which I'm also a part of as an international student ambassador at the university. UOP Global is an office that helps international students in their journey to the UK. They help them accommodate here. They help them with all the issues related to immigration, visas, getting to know the UK culture. It's really such a nice community of staff that can help any international students with any of their issues or redirect them somewhere if they can't find the service they're looking for. So I had no problem settling in, getting to know British culture, and getting to know the city. Speaking of getting to the new city and accommodating to the new university life, I was pleasantly surprised of how much the teachers insist on practical learning compared to just mechanical learning, and how much they can support you in tough times. For example, if you're sick for 1, 2 days, a week even, you can just explain that to them, and they'll understand why you missed classes for a short period of time, or literally any issue related to the course. for example, the editing software not working on you. They'll just understand that and they show you the human side of them, you know? They're not there just to be authoritarian compared to back home, where you don't really get that much support from your teachers. So after 1.5 years of university, I've made quite a few friends, a lot of them international, a lot of them British, and I never had issues with, being excluded because of my nationality or just because I'm a foreigner. I always found it a pleasure to work with them on the coursework, and I think that British students are really tolerant with each other and also with international students, so there's no reason to worry about that. And the same thing applies to the tutors as well. I've never heard a thing about discrimination or any story like that. Sadly, I haven't met any local people, to be honest. Just my neighbor, my boss, and one student from what I can recall. But I haven't really interacted with them a lot. But from what they seem to be really sweet people, and I have no complaints about that. Also, the business owners and shopkeepers around Portsmouth are all really, really good people. Again, being a small city, you have the feeling you're in a community, sort of. You will find that some of your friends will inevitably know other friends of yours, and so on. Speaking of being local, I can tell you a few things about the specialties of Portsmouth, what it's known for. So, being a coastal city, definitely one of their specialties is obviously fish and chips. I can't say it's my favorite, but lots of people seem to enjoy it. And they also take a lot of pride in their football team, which is known to have beef with the nearest city, Southampton. So if you're going out with locals, just don't cheer the local Southampton football team. One thing to avoid in Portsmouth, just don't do that. Last but not least, I'll speak about quite a few entertainment hubs in Portsmouth. Since the student life is not just about learning all the day, I have plenty of opportunities for entertainment, and I can think of quite a few places. One of them is Clarence Pier, which is a fun fair located just by the seaside. You can grab a few friends and just go for a ride in the roller coaster or in the bumper cars. I've been there once and it's a lot of fun. I never expected it to be that fun. Second of them is more of like an entertainment hub. It's about Gunworth Quays, which is a sort of outside mall where they have a lot of designer clothing. They also have a cinema there. And right by Gunworth Quays is the third attraction in the city, which is probably what defines it visually. It's the Spinnaker Tower, which is a 100-something meter tall observation tower that you can pay for a visit and see all of the seafronts from above. And if you're feeling really, really fancy, you can also opt in for a glass of champagne up there. Spinnaker Tower is just such a landmark, you can't miss it. Fourth place or places of entertainment are the clubs, such as the Astoria or Mr. Miyagi's are really, really popular clubs. If you like clubbing, honestly, there's lots of options. Also, as a bonus, in every winter there is an ice skating rink set up right by the Guildhall, which is literally in the city center. I haven't been there yet, but I'm planning to go soon. And to go from one place to another is just about walking like 30 minutes, so it's not a lot of distance, maybe 1 kilometer between the attractions. Oh, I would also mention the seafront itself, which is a big strip of land, just perfect for a walk or a run in the morning. It's not really entertainment, but it's very good to mention. It's just by the South Sea Common, which is a big empty green space. People go there for picnics. So yeah, a few ways of getting around Portsmouth. Again, I'll mention it. It's walking, it's free, it's healthy. You can also opt in for a bicycle or skateboard. It's a bit faster than walking and it's fun. Biking in Portsmouth is really safe. I have a bike myself and never felt unsafe once in the streets. Third option is the Unibus actually, which is free. You just need to show your student ID to the driver and it goes counterclockwise around the city and is very reliable. You can look up the timetable on the university's website. Fourth option is the bus network that I haven't really used, but I heard it's pretty convenient if you want to go just outside the city in the nearby city like Havant. They're usually pretty slow, to be honest, and people don't really bother with buses. And the fifth option is trains. We have 4 train stations in Portsmouth: Portsmouth Harbour, Portsmouth and Southsea, Fratton and Hillsea, which is the northern part. People usually take the train if they want to go outside the city, but if you're in a rush, people usually prefer the 6th option, which is just calling an Uber. So yeah, that being said, that's my review of the University of Portsmouth. To sum it up, it's just a really high quality university that's situated in a small city that's really pleasant to live in, with wonderful people, many international students as well. You'll make friends here, you'll have a fun time here. I hope this video helped you out, and do subscribe to our channel for more useful stuff about studying in the UK, and click the notification bell. My name was Radu, and see you soon at the University of Portsmouth.